A good morning to you and welcome to Life and Style Relationship Wednesday. I'm your host, Chris J. Atemo. We've got mandate and retake. Today we're going to be talking about something, the date night, how important that one is, because if people have got to put the fire or keep the fire burning in their relationships, there's certain things that they've got to do. And we want to hear about the date night. Remember that you got to interact with us. Our social media platforms are at KTN_Life_Style. That is for both Twitter and Instagram. KTN Life and Style for Facebook. 22840 is our text message number. As usual, we begin with the man on mandate, and I've got the men already on set together with me. Good morning, gentlemen.
Good morning.
You all doing well?
Yes, we are.
Well, I've got these four men, we are five, including myself, but I've got these four men together with me. We want to talk about the importance of the date night. I'm not so sure that the date night is something for the men, but this gentleman will help me just go through that, and I'll have them introduce themselves, beginning from my father's left.
Hi, my name is Jack Mutinda. I'm an artist.
All right.
I'm Martin. I'm a gospel artist and also I'm a minister.
All right.
My name is Melvin. I'm an MC and an event organizer.
My name is Dan Bright. I'm a gospel artist and a graphic designer.
Okay, so which one comes first, graphic designer or gospel artist?
The gospel artist came first.
Okay, yeah. Gentlemen, what's your understanding of the date night? I'll start with you, Jack, because you smiled. So, what's your understanding of the date night?
Okay, for me, a date night is when you set a specific day, you go to a special place, just a place where you go, and in a date night you can go have fun, or you can go and think about what you guys have been through. So in a date night you can maybe say, let's go check a movie, let's go do something recreational, or you can say, let's go someplace quiet, reevaluate our relationship, know our strengths, know what we've been through, know what we've failed, and what we have to do as we go on.
Does it have to be night, Martin?
I don't think so.
But if it's not night, is it a date night?
A date day.
Okay.
Just a date.
Yeah. Just a date.
Yeah.
So for me, it doesn't have to be at night.
Okay. But what is it to you?
For me, a date is whereby, according to my understanding, is an early where two people have liked each other, where they get to know each other.
There's a difference between dating and a date night, right?
Yes.
You're talking about the dating.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the date night.
All right.
For me, I think is just where me and my girlfriend just spend some time together outside the norm, go for maybe a movie, dinner, just reflect and talk, just with a new environment or somewhere just amjazoea kukua pamoja.
Okay.
Yes. Basically, that's for me what date night means.
I think date night is just that time you set with your partner to go out and have fun together or meet at a different atmosphere and different time, except far from the normal one that used during the day.
Are you repeating what Melvin was saying? Well, is it important to have date nights? Any one of you can take it up.
For me, it's very important.
Uh-huh.
In fact, speaking about myself is, if there's no date night or date in general, I don't think the relationship will be fun, because you'll just be doing the same thing, but once in a while, do something out of the blues. Take her out, surprise her, and it's going to spice the relationship more and more. Yes.
Is that important?
Yeah, just to add on what he said, it's very important. You know, there's one thing people really tend to ignore. They think you have to take someone out date if you're courting them. When they become yours, now the dates go out of the window.
Yeah.
And again, a date night, you don't have to go out.
Okay.
You can have a date night at home.
That.
Yeah. So you can decide, okay, let's today cook something. Let's get a recipe. We can work on something, maybe something complex we have to do, and as when you have to learn, then decide to take a movie. Yeah, that's a date night. And for me, it's very important because it acts as a platform where you can evaluate yourselves. You can say, okay, we decided we'll be doing this and that, and up to today we've done this and that, we have not done this, so moving on forward, we're supposed to do this. Yeah.
So you say that the date night doesn't have to be a night out?
No, it doesn't have to be a night out.
It could be done indoors.
Yeah.
Because I think most of us, when you're thinking about the date night, you're thinking about
we're thinking about going out.
Going out.
No.
And sometimes that's not very easy for the man to do. Because he's thinking it's expensive.
Yeah, sometimes if it's something special, you'll be thinking, okay, what are the monetary implications? What do I have in my pocket? Then you start with excuses. Parents can do it at home. Go buy a movie. They're very cheap. Go buy some food. You don't have to spend like 10 Gs or what.
Yeah.
In 1,000, you can even do a very good date night.
You can do date night with 1,000?
Yeah. Yes, you can.
Yes, you
Martin.
I think for me, I'm opposed to that. A date has to be outside the norm, outside the things that you're used to and the space that you're used to.
Right.
I think it's more fun when you actually decide to move out of the space you're used to, so that it can bring the aspect of refreshment and also the aspect of taking away the noise and the normality. And
that is within.
Yeah.
But do personalities play a role in the setting of the date night? Because, you're talking about, Martin is talking about, he believes it's got to be out. Mm-hmm. What if I'm the kind of a person who is enclosed and I don't like going out? I'm not the kind of person who wants to go elsewhere. I just want to stay indoors. Don't you think that I can have my date night inside?
For me, I think date is not something that happens daily. If it is something daily, you can actually, it is very easy to just do it at home. But it's something that seldomly happens in the settings of relationship. So it's very important to actually be a bit intentional. And plan around it so that you can make it have some fire or some sizzle in it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Then
I wish to react to what he said. Yeah. If you said you are the kind of a closed person, you really don't want to go out. Let's say in normal settings, the lady is the one who cooks, yeah? Maybe you go after you at work, in the evening she comes, cooks, and that. Just the normal. Now, let's say, for instance, it's Saturday, yeah? She's just relaxing. It's in the evening. You decide, let me go buy some rose flowers. You cut off the petals, you sprinkle them somewhere, then you prepare dinner, and it's candlelit. What would you call that? The norm, or it's a date night?
I don't think that's a date night.
Yeah, so a date can be done at home.
So it could be done at home, right? What about for people, Dan? For people like yourself, you're mostly probably spending most of your time in the public. I'm still going to stick on that, on the issue of the setting of the date night. When you spend a lot of time outside, don't you think that sometimes then you just want space within, like your house? You just want to have a quiet evening with your partner, and that's a date night.
Yeah, that's very true.
Yeah.
Okay, as Jack has said, at times even the partner would like to have total or absolute time with you, and you can also have time with yourself to do a lot and evaluate on set goals together without much interruptions. So I think having even the date night within a closed place is right.
No, but what's the purpose of the date night? Because I keep on hearing the thing of evaluation.
Yeah.
What's the purpose of the date night? Is it for us to look at our goals? Mm-hmm. Is it for us to look at our dreams? Mm-hmm. Or is it for us to spend time with one another?
For me, for a date night, according to me, is just evaluate about the relationship. Because date night, we can't go and start talking about business, sports, politics. It's just between me and my chick, or me and my woman. So we talk about us. If there's any conflict that was there, it's the best time and best space to unleash everything inside each other.
You want to bring it out on the date night?
Yeah.
You don't think it would mess up the date night?
I don't think so, because I believe once we're in the date night, you see, everyone is relaxed. I'm relaxed, she's relaxed. So we have a positive mind towards everything. And also the surrounding, you see, we are outside our shell. So where she's free to do what she wants to say, or I'm also free to say what I want to say. So it will be much easier much friendly and
But people have walked out on people at the restaurant, you know, because somebody said or did something.
now it depends with the now it depends with the personality. You see, if you're having a drama queen or the dude is a drama guy, such things. But when you're two mature people in love, once you love one another, I believe
love could be the reason why somebody walks out.
Okay, let me add on what he said. You asked what date night is. Okay, the setting actually dictates what it should be.
Yeah, mostly.
It can be a date night to evaluate yourselves, your goals and your dreams, or it can be recreational. Because if I take you to a movie theater, you don't expect you're eating popcorn, you're watching movies, and you're talking about goals and dreams.
All right.
Now we're in a restaurant, it's a cool, secluded place, so we'll talk.
yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what are we talking about? Martin?
I think date is all about killing the normal thing and actually being in a space whereby the atmosphere is different.
Yes.
And you can watch a movie like he's suggesting, and also you can actually have a conversation based on the things that you want to evaluate. You can, it depends on who in the relationship who calls for the date. So they have the intention for the date. So the intention, it is to affirm, like if for me I call for a date, just to affirm and tell her the things you've been doing well in my life and all that. And I think that would actually enhance the.
Do we think that we understand their need for the date night as opposed to what we think is the need for the date night? Of course, we will have ladies later on as we talk on retake, but most times the lady just wants your presence. But you see men are very practical and goal-oriented. So they want to put value to the date night. That's why all of you are talking about evaluation. As I was getting back there. You know, you think there's got to be a course around which you gather. But sometimes for her, she has nothing important to say. She just feels like we've not been spending time.
Actually, I know is the impression and the attitude we have towards when they say, let's go for a date. You know, there's one sentence which a man hears from a lady, you know, it's going to be trouble. We need to talk. Actually, you'll be finding all ways and avenues to get away from it.
Because he thinks there's a problem.
Yeah, you think there's a problem, of which 90% there's always a problem. So, and now actually saying about the date, when she tells you want to go out, now you will go back to your cocoon. Okay, what did I do wrong? What did I do or I didn't do? But I think we should be open. When she says she wants a date, maybe she just wants you guys to remind yourselves when you were courting, when you were dating, when the love was all over. Yeah.
All right. You want to say something?
Yeah. To add on that, maybe you might be too busy during the day. You are at work, from work. You don't have much time to go out. So you can give that chance. At least you have your time with her. Yeah, I think it's very healthy.
Okay.
Yeah.
In the case that people have gone out for like a meal, and I've got to ask whether date night is restricted to the restaurant or something, and the movies only. But in the case where we've gone out to the restaurant, since ladies call out for the date nights mostly, who takes the bill?
Obviously, or in most cases, it's the guy.
It's human and money for you to
yeah.
So she suggests the date night. We need to go out.
Yes.
Is it something that people have to agree about who's going to pay the bill, or it's just that's expected that the man is going to pay the bill?
For me, I think where you both of you sit down, and unless it's a surprise. Once it's a surprise, that's when if it's the lady or the guy. But if it's open discussion, now you sit down and say, I have like 20 bob. How much do you have? I have like 50 bob. So let's 50 plus 20, 70. So let's go for a date with that 70 shillings. So it's both ways.
I think also when it comes to who will pay the bill, it's very important to communicate. If I may concur with him, not unless it's a surprise. Now you know that your partner, she's prepared.
Yes.
She has a budget for it. But if it is something that is open, it's good to communicate. So if you have 1,000, you know which kind of a date you can actually have.
Most cases, when ladies are planning, when she feels that you've not been thinking about the dates and the date nights, because sometimes men are caught up with, they always say they're caught up with the bigger things. They're looking at the bigger bills and stuff. So sometimes they then neglect what means much more to the woman in the relationship. And sometimes the woman begins to set aside money for this date night. Because to her, she feels this is so important. And if she waits on you, you got to say you don't have money. So she goes ahead of you to make sure that there is the money. Is that an easy thing for men to do? Like, so here's your partner. She wants a date night, and she even has the money for it. So there's no excuse for you.
I think...
Okay, I think in this case, if she does that, what she communicates is, I need your time, not your money. So it doesn't matter whether you have the money, whether I need your time. I need you to feel you around.
Okay.
Yes.
But that's what now Jack was saying that we get scared about.
Yeah, that is actually what scares us, because she's actually, the language there is actually clear, that she is seeking your attention. And probably there is something she wants to communicate. So we go ahead and start thinking, where did I go wrong and all that.
All right.
And sometimes, like he said, it's good to have an open mind and just be positive about it.
All right.
Yeah.
How often should we have date nights?
As often as
it depends with, there's no, you can't say once or twice a month, just depending on. But
as often as you can.
But giving a number, let's say maybe 4 times a month.
4 times a month?
Like that's weekly. That's weekly, once a week.
Once a week? Does that not risk becoming routine?
Yeah.
Where do you draw the line between this date night being something that breaks out of what is the norm?
Weekly, I think for me, it will become monotonous and a routine or a culture. But I think thrice in a year, for me, it according to me, can really. And I will actually define it. For date night. Date night should be for married people, not single people, because...
All right, go ahead and say what you want to say.
Wow.
You're surrounded, but go ahead, because I'm protected and so on.
I feel like date night for married couple would be 30, because during the day we tend, because of the responsibility that are there, we tend to be very busy. But in the evening, now going into the night, you can actually have a date to just rejuvenate your marriage and to bring in the aspect of the fire.
Okay, so why would you lock out the single guys from the date night? Because probably some of them are also working. They don't have time during the day. So
now the danger now comes in the misconception about the date night. Like he said, in a closed door, because you're the kind of a person who likes just being in the house. You are an introvert. You don't like the public thing.
You won't go out.
So when you're single, you are likely to invite some of the temptations, and that one can actually go in the direction that the date may not.
Have been intended to go. But just sticking on the thing of how often it should be, and picking on what Melvin said, like it could be weekly. I've seen people who would set up and say, like, every Wednesday at 7 we do dinner. But then now it becomes more of a law than something that they would do. You know, it's more of a duty. Like they appear and show up, and every Wednesday they've got to be there. And sometimes they're not even enjoying the setting, but it's become tradition. How do you move people who have gotten to the place where even their date night is now a struggle to a place where they can do something a bit more meaningful with it?
Actually, to react on that, it all depends on why you're setting up the date night. Because if it gets to a point where you're struggling to be there, it's no longer date night. It's like going to work.
Yeah.
You don't love going to work, but you have to wake up early
Yes.
and be at work
Yes.
because it's a duty, it's a calling. So that doesn't become, that changes even from being a date night, even it's not even a routine, it's an obligation.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it loses all meaning. But right now, if it's a date night and you say it's every Wednesday we'll be doing this, every Wednesday we'll be doing this, it changes from a date night to a routine, which for me is a plus. Because that becomes something you guys do together, you guys like together, so it works actually positively towards your bonding.
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's no problem with building routine and establishing a tradition out of a date night.
Actually, you know, the more traditions you have, the more you have to share in common, and the more you guys will be together.
Okay.
I,
All right.
I think for me, you really need to be very creative, and also do a lot of research. Probably during the week, if you are actually the one calling for the date, if it's every Wednesday or Friday evening, you have to assess how was the mood of the week, so that you can determine how your date will be like.
Alright.
That one can actually bring fruitfulness
Okay.
in regards to the date.
Talking about that, Dan, assessing the mood of the week. So if we have not had a good week, if my wife and I have not had a good week, we've had a lot of tension, we've not been talking, is that a good reason to do a date night?
Yeah, absolutely. You see, at some point, people tend to solve conflicts when other conflicts arises. So I think it would be good to set such a date when everything is calm, talk about
But
it.
I'm talking about if we've had the tension,
Yeah.
people are not talking, stuff is not happening, things are tight and tough. Is that a good time to do a
Yes,
date
yes, it is.
Why?
Because it will break. You say it will break that tension.
Okay.
You see, when the reason why people don't talk to each other is because no one wants to confront the issue.
Okay.
That's why everyone wants to be
Left
alone.
alone.
Yeah. But when you take a step towards it, I'm sure she or he would be ready to accept and see what comes out of this one.
What if the issue is so difficult to talk about, Melvin? What if the issue is so hard? You were dating this lady and you have taken them for the date night, and you're afraid that if you talk about certain issues, it might lead to a breakup.
Yes.
But you're trying to win them.
Yes.
Is that the time to really confront those issues, or you sweep them under the carpet with a candlelight dinner?
First things first. What you're supposed to do is, if it's worse gets worse. Ish.
It's not an easy place to be, right?
Yes. I think let me. What I may say is, maybe our father upstairs. I want to talk to him.
Jack, what happens? Because here you are, and you know there's an issue that you need to address.
Yeah.
And you're thinking, okay, maybe we can have dinner. You're trying to ease the tension. But then again, there is a lot of sensitivity. Over, the mood has not been very good. I'm still on what Martin said, the mood has not been very good. So people are afraid that if I say something, it's like walking on eggshells.
Yeah.
How do you navigate around that? 2, how do you make it not look like you are trying to bribe your way out of the issues you've had?
Okay, one thing, you guys are dating, so you understand each other, and a relationship is all about communication. When there's no communication, there's nothing. So if you take them out on a date, you've been having a rough week.
Yes.
It's a good time to go talk. You've been having a good time, a good week. That's why I say the setting actually is different. If you've had a very good week, I'm like, babe, let's go watch a movie. It's been a good week. But if you guys have been fighting, you'll be like, no, we really need to know what's up. We really need to talk.
Yeah.
So that's where you get to a very closed environment. You'll have to open up. And again, an issue, the way you approach it, really, really depends on it really determines the outcome. Because if I come out defensively, definitely the other partner will feel offended. So they will defend themselves.
Yes.
That's why you'll see someone walking out of a date.
Yes.
But if I am very impartial about it, I'd be like, okay, this and this happened, this and this happened. I won't be against the idea, I won't be out for it. So I'm just neutral. As in, you guys lay all your sides on the table. This is how I feel. This is how I feel. What do you do about it?
I think for me, It will depend on the magnitude of the matter.
Okay.
If the matter is so huge and cannot be tackled in the moment, I think it's good to suspend the date so that even in our relationship, we know the importance of the date. Because of this and this, actually we missed our date.
Right.
But because, again, it's you can't determine what to happen to you during the day, but you can determine how to respond.
Okay.
So sometimes how we respond can actually magnify the matter because our emotions are very high. Yeah. So sometimes it's very important to actually take some time so that someone cools down, and then you actually be intentional of actually creating another date just to talk about the matter when the emotions are not very high.
Or what can happen is during the date night, whatever the date is, you may try, if she's beautiful, just compliment her. Just give her sweet words. You see,
what
ladies.
Do you mean if?
Listen, ladies and words. Once you.
Yeah, Melvin, wait. What do you mean if? I don't think you.
You wouldn't date someone if she's not beautiful.
If she's not beautiful. So what do you mean if?
So she is. Compliment her.
Yeah.
Yeah. Don't say if.
Ladies
just say
love being
compliment her.
reminded every time. You see,
Okay.
It's like a kid. You see.
All right. Yeah. So what if she's not?
You dated her because she's beautiful.
Yeah.
So you need to assure her.
Just compliment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, fine.
So yeah, after that, at one moment she'll cool down the answer where you shoot the issue and say, hey, by the last week this happened, and if you're on the wrong side, ask for forgiveness. Then if she's the one who feels she's wrong, approach and tell her, I didn't like what you did. Just the way Jack has said, how you approach an issue.
Right.
If you approach it in a war situation, it will turn out to be war.
What do you do when you've got a partner or a spouse who is, in quotes, old-fashioned, traditional? They don't see the need for you to do stuff like date nights. What do you do?
I think for me, one of the things you really need to know them. What makes them happy, what they like. And then you actually form your date around what they like, something they can be attracted to.
Okay.
So that's someone you really need to examine that person if they are not people who like dates.
All right.
Yeah. Or they are old-fashioned.
Okay.
Yeah.
Done.
The only way out is, as he has said, because unless you know what makes her happy or what she would enjoy, it will be hard for you to come. It will be like when you plan it will be like you're dictating what she will be doing or what he will be doing. So I think it's good to communicate and know what makes you happy, what do you enjoy. Yeah, I think that will solve the issue.
Maybe to react on that, actually, we are humans. Yeah. That's why you have a very big advantage. You're not robots. Robots are programmed to something and that's it. The moment you change it, there's a mechanical failure. Yeah. So if maybe someone is old-fashioned and maybe you like something else, okay, you really don't have to be old-fashioned. Right. You just don't do that. Yeah. That doesn't mean you can't do it. Right. If you think it's important, just tell them, hey, can you please go do that? It's a trial, like TriZex.
Okay.
Yeah. If it's something that is building, that is something that is positive and actually adds value to your relationship, the old-fashioned in them will start going out. Yeah. So they will start respecting and appreciating the fact that actually this works.
Okay.
Or even you suggest something that is old-fashioned like Mogithi.
And I was about to ask you, because you're a gentleman, probably some of you then are football fans. Is taking your woman to watch football outside, does that qualify to be?
Well, yes, it qualifies.
That is tricky.
That is very tricky.
Okay, because I'm trying to imagine a situation where you're a very huge fan of football and your team is playing. It's a date. Actually in football, tempers flare. Yeah. And our team loses 5-0. Will this still be a date? I'll be sulking all the way. I'll be all over the place and be like, these guys lost, I'm mad. So now what happens to the date? What?
Because sometimes, some of these activities, what I'm picking is that, and I think the ladies will agree with me later, is that when you are coming up with the activities around the date night, you must ensure that you have mental presence.
Yeah.
So that you are not doing something, the two of you, that is making your mind be away from the woman.
Exactly.
She wants to be the center. Because we could sit here and we could actually be at a movie, but I'm so engrossed in the movie, that I ignore the person I went with.
Yes.
And when we go back home, I'm feeling like, you know what, I took you out. So she'll be saying, we never spend time together. And you're saying, but last week we were at this and this place, I took you out. But then according to her, she did not get that quality time. So I've got one more question I've got to ask. Can there be joint date nights, or it's just got to be a couple on its own? Can you agree to have some other couples and then they come in and join?
Yes, I can.
Yes.
I can gladly do that.
Yeah.
Is that a man thing, or
No,
so
he
that
seems to be in denial.
I think
so that
it's a 50-50 situation. It works, it doesn't work. Yeah.
Martin, your reservations.
The comparison part of it can actually spoil it, because probably, let's say, in the scenario whereby you guys had a very bad week, and then there is a norm of going for a date on Wednesday evening, and now you are combining, and those guys, they had a very awesome week, and they want to talk about those things that really happened. They're enjoying, they are all together loving each other, and you you have an issue. Sometimes your partner will begin to suggest, why don't you be like that? So instead of actually building, it's actually breaking.
Putting pressure.
Yeah, putting pressure,
Again, that goes back to how you approach issues.
Okay.
We all have ways with pods.
Yeah.
Because, okay, now in your situation now, you see that they're all over, all lovey-dovey, and you hear you don't even want to look at each other. If I see something positive about them, I won't, okay, if I come and tell you, you should be doing that. No, definitely, she will be repulsive, or I will be repulsive.
Right.
But if I come and say, babe, I think doing this and that can actually work for us. They're like, okay, maybe we can give it a try. You see, it's all about learning. So when you go out there, there's something that couple has you guys don't have, you can learn. There's something you guys have that couple doesn't have, you can learn.
And my assumption is that for you to do a joint date, you must be close to the other couple.
Yes.
Yeah,
Most
it's not like
So it's not like they're
strangers.
strangers to you. And so even if you didn't have the date night, they would still know you guys are having issues. Somewhere, somehow, somebody's going to talk.
Yes, yeah, definitely.
I can actually suggest, if you're having a double date night, if you can go with your mentor or someone who actually
what about your peers, Martin? Like, you want to go out on a date night, and then you have Jack and he's coming
and there is something
you don't think that would make it easier even for you to address your issues?
In fact, even it would be much easier.
Okay, let me get this situation now, a real practical one.
Yes.
If I go on a double date, you and your partner, me and my fiance, will the same things we will talk about be the exactly same things we'll do if I go out with Pastor Chris? No.
Because there will be a certain sense.
So now it will be a different setting. Whatever you talk about with Pastor Chris, it will be actually more of learning from him. You see, but now with you, it will be more of sharing. Because we are peers, and actually what you go through is more or less the same, because maybe you're of the same age or same age group. So whatever you're facing is the same.
Closing thoughts, winding thoughts. But with this one question, do there have to be gifts on date nights? You answer that, and with your wrapping thoughts on the date night.
Yeah, it is important. Maybe you had stayed long before you surprised your partner with something, so you can come up with something and offer.
All right.
So it is important.
Okay, but your wrapping thoughts on the date night?
It is very important.
Very important.
Because it creates an atmosphere for you both to have some bond and sometimes together.
Okay, Melvin, your wrapping thoughts.
Mine is simple. Yes. Date night is important. Gifts, yes. Okay, simple.
Martin.
For me, I would say date night is actually very important, especially for married couples.
Okay.
Because it's actually...
You're the advocate for married couples.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, being cognizant of the generation we are living in.
Okay.
So date night actually bring that aspect of bringing the season.
All right.
And actually making your marriage even more fiery.
All right. Jack.
Yeah, for me, date night is essential. For those who are dating, for those who are courting, for those who are married, it's very essential because it actually works to build you guys and build your relationship. For gifts, you can give out a gift or you can still not give out a gift.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, that's all we had the time for Monday 4, but we're coming back on retake after the break. The ladies will be joining us, so don't go anywhere. I want to know your thoughts. I want to hear your thoughts concerning the date night. The hashtag is K18 Life and Style on Twitter, on Facebook, and on Instagram. Remember to follow us at K18 Life_Style both on Instagram and Twitter, and K18 Life and Style on Facebook. We take a short break and come back with retake. Don't go anywhere.
He's supposed to come at 7. And then all of a sudden you call me, I can't make it. You better be having a good enough reason for you not to make it.
It reached a point where I was like, okay, you just want us to go to the place? Okay, let's go. And I was there the entire 2 hours and just watching that. I'm like, okay, you happy? Like, no, that wasn't the intention.